Get the chicken bone. Would you just get the chicken bone? Chicken bone, lucky, lucky chicken bone. Chicken bone, lucky, lucky chicken bone.
Hey everybody, Voodoo 6 and the Lucky Lucky Chicken Bone. This is a video I did a long time ago explaining where my screen name comes from and what the whole deal is with this Lucky Lucky Chicken Bone. But it was one of the videos that got lost when I got DMCA'd and had to start a new channel. So here we go, we'll do it again. A lot of people have heard this story and a lot of people haven't, so let's throw it back out there. This all started back when I first joined the Army. I had no religious preference on my dog tags. I wasn't religious at this time. A couple of years had gone by since the last time I'd even visited a church. It was just something that just never crossed my mind. It was just something I didn't think about. I didn't know I was an atheist. I didn't even really know what the word meant. I just knew I didn't believe that crap anymore. And there was no evidence for anything else. I didn't really believe anything as far as any religion went. Excuse me. But I, joined the military, and I was a new private, And the buildings were becoming all like non-smoking indoors, and so if you wanted to smoke, you had to go outside to a smoking area, a little roped-off area with some rock and gravel, and that was the smoke break area. And so, if you want to take a cigarette, you'd ask your buddies, "Hey, you want to go burn one? Let's go." 2, 3, 4, 10 of us would go and take a smoke break. And we had this one sergeant who was real religious, fundamentalist Christian type, who would come out there while we were all taking our smoke breaks. He'd just come out and put us all at parade arrest, and we'd have to stand there and listen to him, and he'd tell us, he'd start in preaching, your body's a temple. The Bible says, your body's a temple, and you shouldn't desecrate it, and blah, blah, blah. And you're going to go to hell, for that little bit of pleasure you're taking now with the cigarettes is going to last an eternity, when you go to hell. And just, be a jerk to us, call us sinners and shit. And we really couldn't say anything. Because, I'm a private, he's a sergeant, I can't say nothing back to him. And if he puts you in at the position of parade rest, you can't speak anyway. And it was just something we had to put up with. But depending on your religion, you could get out of certain things. Like if there was some kind of, prayer function, a prayer breakfast function going on, we had to go. It was mandatory. But like somebody put their hand up and said, I'm Jewish or I'm Wiccan, and that's against my religion, they got out of it. But if somebody who had no religion said, I just don't want to go, we had to go clean toilets and shit like that. You got put on crap details if you just simply didn't want to go. They'd kind of punish you for it. And so it kind of, burnt my ass a little bit. And so I had kind of thought of, I need to just claim I'm some weird religion to get out of some of this crap. And that was about as far as it went. But after a few run-ins with that sergeant in the smoke break area, I was in my room one night, and I was polishing boots, eating dinner, watching TV. And there was a movie on, I don't even remember the name of the movie, but it was these two actors, they were bodybuilders. They called themselves the Barbarian Brothers a long time ago. It's about 20-some years ago. And they were truck drivers in this movie, and every time they were like going to get in a car accident, they would pull this chicken bone out of the glove box that was like this lucky voodoo chicken bone, and they'd be like, chicken bone, chicken bone. And, and that was like their good luck symbol, like a rabbit's foot or something. And so I'm sitting there, eating dinner, and I've gotten these chicken bones, and I'm like, that's the one. If I say my religion's voodoo, I can get out of stuff. I'm like, how can I do this? I'm like, I can go get some new dog tags made at the local Army surplus store and tell them to put voodoo down as my religion. And then I took one of the chicken bones from the hot wings and cleaned it up and put it on a leather strap similar to the one I've got here, because you couldn't wear jewelry. I couldn't wear the bling gangster thing, if I wanted to wear a necklace or something. I'm not a jewelry type person, but you could wear like a separate chain with like a religious symbol on, like Star of David or a cross. That was within regulation, but I couldn't just wear jewelry. So I'll take this leather bootstrap I got, tie this chicken bone to it, and so instead of wearing a cross, this is going to be my religious symbol. And so I went and had dog tags made. And then the next time the sergeant come out there to go off on us about smoking, I told him, this is against my religion. I'm like, And I started, shaking the chicken bone at him, doing the whole chicken bone, lucky, lucky chicken bone chant. And it freaked him out, because he, so I told him, that was my religion was voodoo, and you're countering your hex that you're putting on me, And so I'm like shaking it, and it freaked him out, and he left. And he went and told the commander that I was being insubordinate to an NCO. And so I got called in the commander's office, and they asked me what was going on. And I told him what he had been doing, and told him that he was infringing upon my religious freedoms, and that what I was doing was actually placing a hex on, or countering his hex, with my own religious ritual. And so they were like, well, yeah, he's got a point. You can't be infringing upon his religious beliefs, so don't do that no more. So that ended up getting the sergeant to stop coming out and berating the people in the smoke break area, and everybody thought it was funny. And so then my nickname just ended up becoming Voodoo. Hey, Voodoo, come here. And so that ended up being my nickname for years. And so then it became like my call sign on the radio. This is Voodoo, whatever. And then once I got high enough in rank that I had my own squad and everything, and our call sign on the radio became, the Voodoo Element. We'd have like Cobra would be, another group. Voodoo was our group. And then everybody's, got a number, internally and externally. Like if the commander called our squad, for, an update on anything or something, they would, and he wanted to talk to me particularly, he would ask for Voodoo 6 or Voodoo Actual. And so Voodoo 6 was my identifier. If I called somebody within my squad, I'd be like, 3, this is 6, whatever. Give me a sit rep, salute report, anything like that. And so Voodoo 6 was my radio call sign. And that's just where the name came from, and it stuck. And that's where the chicken bone came from. And it was just a funny story that just ended up following me around forever. And so that's the story behind Voodoo 6 and the Lucky Lucky Chicken Bone. Take care, everybody.